Welcome back, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer1745 here with my playthrough of Hearts of Iron 3, their finest hour, with Black Ice 8, Third Reich events, and a bunch of other great mods installed. I've been adjusting some of the sound levels, so please give feedback if it's too high, too low, whether the music, sound effects, my commentary, please let me know. If any of that needs to be adjusted. Overall volume, I hope it's good. Obviously you can adjust that with your speakers and your sound system, but it's more the balancing of things that I'm concerned about. One thing I think we need to do here is go with the 3-year draft. Got the 2-year now. Reserve penalty impact is only minus 10% instead of 20%. So that may impact some of the other stuff, but we get 10% more manpower, 5% more leadership, and 5% more officer recruitment. So that's all good. Consumer products during wartime, that doesn't matter, we're at peace for us right now. And peacetime manpower reduction. Now, that hurts a teeny bit, but it's made up for with the increased manpower, so we're going to go with that. Yes, we're sure. Well, we're not sure, but we're going with it. So. Ooh, what's out of supplies? Oh, they just showed up there. Or, uh-oh. The nasty Czechs stole some of our blueprints. Wow. What'll we do? Invade them? No, can't just yet, but give them money for crude oil. We've got now. What we're gonna do is we will do the diplomacy thing and see if we can get a bunch of crude oil from different places. Let's see, will Iran sell us any? Probably not. We don't have much. No. Other people are already buying it. Yeah. What about Romania? They're already in a deficit. Now let's get a small amount from the Soviets, make them like us a little bit more. Portuguese need a bunch of supplies and they have lots of money, so let's sell them some. They don't want to buy from us right now. They got money? Yeah, they have some money. See if they'll buy a supply from us. Yay. See some of our other friends here. People we want to be our friends. People we don't want to be our enemies just yet. No, they don't want. Finland, let's see if they will take some supplies. Good. Not just a maybe, but we'll try it out. Just to help get them into the Axis a little faster. No, they don't have the money. let's see, who else might have some oil that, well, I don't know. Uh-oh, somebody didn't go with it, probably the French. Yep. Good. All the rest happened though. Improve our standing with some nations. Let's just see if we can do something here with the Saudis though. Okay. Oh, they said no. But Iran and the Saudis are willing to trade with us. Okay, during World War II, the German infantry divisions were mostly more mobilized in Welland waves, and they were required by the changing fortunes of war, or as they were required. The Welle was the German designation for groups of infantry divisions raised at approximately the same time. Yes, we want to do all this. We will get a bunch of various units. We still haven't got our Volt Risk unit, or event. Okay. Truppen Übungsplatz Unterbog. Okay. I hope I didn't butcher that too badly. Training grounds and date back to, I believe this is a GGA event. You guys can read it in detail if you like. Yes, we will lose some money, of course. A lot of money. Yeah, this comes down to the design philosophy here. To me, and the way you look at the money is purely an international exchange element of things. And so unless you just really want to penalize a country, I generally use money sparingly as a cost. Because sometimes, yeah, you have some element of foreign imports for making things, so I don't know if enlarging a Truppenübungsplatz, making bigger buildings, would require a huge amount of, though I do like the way this image is, it's a neat image. Making bigger buildings and larger training fields would require a lot of imports. The rest of it, hey, yeah, I agree with the costs and all that, so fully agree with that part. Okay, here we go. We currently need 24 change. You know, actually, let me kick one of these up here. I think I'll put this over. A few of those. Quick. Send in the security police, which increases revolt risks. Gives us SS goon squads from the Black Ice events, though we already have the SA goon squad, so yeah, it's sort of redundant. And it reduces IC efficiency, which isn't good. Reduces manpower. Or we can do basically the same thing with a lot of their new police centers all over the place. Or we can appease them, which reduces national revolt risk by 5%. Good thing. 2.5% on the ICs, lowering money, 25% down. Consumer goods during wartime increased by 2%, no big deal there. 10% consumer goods during peacetime, research efficiency down. I don't understand that one. I mean, that's just a nerfing, a penalty, sure, but I don't see how that. I see production or efficiency, they all have the same negative effects. I don't get that either, because I would think happy workers would be efficient workers. If anybody's watching, they can ask Panzer Company why that. Feel they're the rest side, you know, the other consumer goods. Now, this is basically appease them, is what National Socialism did. Unlike communism or international socialism, I sometimes want to use that to define them. In some ways, there's a similar element to them. In international socialism, they wanted to make everybody equal. And the only way you can do that is to make everybody the poorest people there are, because there's never going to be everybody rich or everybody well off. I mean, you can find rare examples of San Marino or some little city-state, this tiny village that somehow has the income to make everybody middle class, if you will. But in any large society, you can't. So everyone's going to be poorest peasants or poorest workers in a international socialist thing. It can only be that way. You can never have an uplifting in society. But with National Socialism, if you were the right type of people, they really tried to look after you, at least, you know, before the war. So now if you weren't the right type of people, which could mean certain races, it could mean just you disagreed with the government, whatever. If you weren't the right type of people, it wasn't good for you. This is not an endorsement of National Socialism. It was just my evaluation of the facts. So in a practical sense, it worked. And Germany was trying to do a lot of consumer goods. So in the consumer goods elements, I agree with this. It's just the efficiency and the two efficiencies I don't. So, but yes, so we're going to go with that. Because we're playing sort of a historically real, though obviously we will go off the historical tracks at some point, but historically realistic game here, so we'll appease them. And air bases in Eastern Prussia. Yeah, we'll go for this, especially since this is fairly early. The 5% I sees is a bit high for the air bases. I should probably, for either shorten it, I would say, or lower it, because it's just the East Prussian air bases. So we'll go with that now. As we see, this has jumped to red, and we've now jumped up to 46, so we basically doubled our IC requirements. And these are coming up reinforcements because we've gone to the 3-year. They'll come back down, not to the upgrades, but to the 3-year. Am I blanking on this draft, 3-year draft? Now, and the reason it's larger, it's fairly large, is because it's taking into account all of these SA units. So that has a bit of impact. Okay. The National Socialist Motor Corps, which is NSKK. I'm not going to try to pronounce it all in German. Very important part. It started out as SA Motorstorm or Motorstorm SA. Sometimes I've seen it done both ways. Don't know which is the most correct one, but that was this was basically a motorized element of the SA. It was still part of the SA during the Rome Putsch, or Night of the Long Knives. Julian, this guy, the leader of it. After that, what is his name? Julian, Adolf here, asked for it to be broken off into an independent operation, and he got permission to do that. And as we will see, it became the organization for anything to do with motor vehicles in Germany. Motorcycles, cars, trucks, everything. And we will see how that continues to affect the game. So, Trommler Zigaretten. Basically, that's a drummer cigarette. This is actually, I just thought it was quite interesting. You can see all the advertisements there. I didn't, know this until fairly recently. The SA partially funded themselves by selling cigarettes. They got involved with, goes into the details, some of the one of the cigarette manufacturers, and if you're an SA man, and especially up until the Rome Putsch, there were 4.5 million of them. You were an SA man, and there were several types of SA cigarettes, all from the same company, and they were pushed to smoke this type of cigarettes, as well as, I also think, a bit of a strong arm, make sure the local sellers of cigarettes, tobacco shops or newsstands or whoever was selling cigarettes in Germany at the time, would sell enough of these, to buy these and resell them. And it was a way that the cigarette companies made money that were partially owned, and we would give a cut to the SA. Plus, the local SA units would sell these, including to the local resellers and everything else. So they would locally get money as well as to the national organization, if you will. So it was a funding revenue stream for the SA. It was stopped in late 34. Yeah, here it is. After the Rome Putsch. But thought this was interesting enough, and I wanted to give you the option to, if you wanted lots of supplies, to do that, or stop smoking and get some medical gain improvements for healthier SA soldiers. We like the supplies a lot, but we're not going to go for it. Actually, I'm looking at this now. I think I intended this to have lowering descent, so I'm going to edit that instead of adding descent. It's supposed to lower the descent. People smoked back then, having more cigarettes. No, maybe I wanted it there because they were strong. No, I wanted the descent because they're strong arming. Sorry, they wanted the descent because they were strong arming merchants and others to buy the cigarettes, because they were of not, from what I understand, somewhat inferior quality. So just a way to pump up a lot of supplies. We're going to say no, stop smoking. Okay, yes, we want the Pinamunde. Cost us a bunch of metal, rare materials, particularly costly supplies, a lot of money because we're importing rare materials for this. So this is one of the places now I don't use it. It's not in the thousands, it's in the hundreds, but I looked at that as rare materials importation to set up. And this is the thing a bit later, not at start. But you can see they paid a lot of money for getting the thing going. And Werner von Braun, who was a Nazi. I don't think he was a we want the death camp Nazi type, but he was a Nazi. But he later came to America and helped America win the space race. So, very important guy in human history. So yes, we want that. And what we will want to do is go down here. Part of the reason we want that to fire there, it's in the production queue, is that we'll get some practicals, which should help here. Maybe not by much. Go a little today. We should go a little bit faster. Okay, turkey, go your own way. So now we have the nice thing, and as you see, we just lowered our practicals by a lot. With all these upgrades, we are Okay, we're going to go the historical. They used to have a whole pick this, pick that chain, but now you just heavy aircraft, gasoline engine, welded armor. That's the close one to match historical Germany. Wilhelm Gustloff was killed. They call him a murderer here. He was a killer. By David Frankfurter, a Jew who understood what was coming and decided to fight back. That's how I look at it. So he killed a Nazi who was going, if he had been around, he was going to be part of the final solution. I do believe he was working towards that. So we have three choices here. We can do sort of the sensible, leave everything alone thing, not like the Nazis. This is what historically happened. Use Gustloff as a Nazi martyr along the realms of, boy, am I blanking again, Horst Wessel. And so we could use that, or we could use this as a casus belli to invade Switzerland. Well, we have the SA, we have the army, we can do it, but it's going to give us massive dissent, massive unity hit, because, as I was saying earlier in earlier videos, the German people did not want war at this point. They were afraid of what was going to happen with war, so it's a really sort of nasty hit. So, but we're going to go with this. We'll gain some national unity for pumping it up. A little dissent over it, but not too bad, and hurt our relations with Switzerland, which we ended up. As you can see here, he was tried and convicted because he broke the law. He did, but after the war, he was released and moved to Tel Aviv. So he survived. So we've taken massive hits there. Hopefully we will continue to adjust things. Okay. Nordisch Gesellschaft, the Nordic Society. Yes, this could be useful to us. We will get increased leadership because of our relations up there. Or we can just decide not to go with this. Yes. That even helped. So, reduce these down. We need to also do more. Really prettier picture. Don't know that we need the political map yet. Everyone knows currently. Okay, yes, Winter Olympics. Let the games begin. Hitler, Hess, that's the head of the International Olympic Committee. He doesn't look pretty happy. He doesn't look too happy, and he isn't having to associate with these people. So we will lose our dissent that we just got by that event. Okay, the sign in English reads, also here is our Lebensraum. Of course, with Mein Kampf and many other Nazi propaganda pushes, we're pushing for Lebensraum in the east, living room in the east. Ritter von Epp was in charge of the Reich Colonial Bund, and he was very much promoting, primarily in Africa, though they also periodically mentioned the colonies lost out in the Pacific Islands to the Japanese, pushing for that. This is part of the Tanganyika events. This was a very real, very large organization. As I said in the previous series, I'm not sure how much Hitler and the sort of higher, Ritter von Epp was fairly high, but I'm sort of upper mid-level kind of guy, not one of the top, how much the really top decision makers really wanted these colonies returned, or were they just using it as a threat to the Britain and France, which were the main acquirers of their territory, as, hey, we have people agitating in our country for this. We'll keep them under control if you allow us to gain lands primarily in, Eastern Europe, Austria, Czechoslovakia, Polish corridor, and potentially beyond. So I don't know whether this was just a hammer to hit Britain and France with, or whether they were really trying to get back the colonies. I think the members in the organization really wanted to get the colonies back, but I don't know from the top. So we'll see a bunch of propaganda posters and discussion as time goes on. So this is starting of Tanganyika. Okay, and we'll just jump back up to factories because we've mostly remanned our reservist units. Philip Holzmann, a major construction company in Germany, then and still today. They were one of the big companies contracted to complete the Autobahn. As you see this, so we can finish the Autobahn or leave it. You can see the current infrastructure of Germany based on black ice and some of my adjustments. So we're gonna get that. Oh, yeah, we were supposed to do this. Yeah, I forgot. Hopefully we haven't messed this up too much. I think maybe we have. But the idea is also similar to this. Put these up here. Um, 1930 Himalaya expedition. One woman, a bunch of men go to Tibet. This is sort of the prequel to future events that I've yet to make. But we'll look around. This will improve our relations with Tibet. And what the second, because the 1930 was before the Nazi takeover, the second event, they were actually, some SS men were on the trip, but a bunch of other people. They all carried with them various Nazi propaganda things, including flags and other things, and the Tibetans were sort of impressed that they were using the swastika, which is a Tibetan symbol, so, or a Buddhist symbol, and so that, as opposed to the Christians. Okay, did I screw this up badly? Probably the air bases. Yeah. Let's let it go for another day and see if it corrects itself. No, damn it, I messed that up. Okay, we're going to end this episode, or I'm going to see if I can attach it to make another one. So I'm going to go edit the save game file, because these are supposed to take 2 days and pop up here. I'm just going to tweak it so that they're almost completed in the save game file, and then be back. Thanks for viewing. We shall return.